Hello and welcome to La Cerdagale in Spain for the International Canoe Federation's 4th Slalom World Cup of the 2015 season. 317 athletes from 49 nations are competing over the weekend in the 5 traditional classes at the Parque Olympique del Segre, of course the location of the 1992 Olympic Games. Today we're going to be following live 2 classes. First off are the women's kayak singles, followed by the C2, which of course is for the men. I'm Matthew Leighton, and today I have a British panel. We have K1 paddler Joe Clarke, and we have C1 C2 paddler Adam Burgess. Hello, gentlemen.
Hey, Slalom fans.
Hey, everyone out there.
So the conditions, well, it's sunny with a little bit of cloud cover, but it's certainly a much better day today. As you see, the temperature 20, humidity, and a very slight wind. The conditions that we need to expect in the next hour or so, boys.
Yeah, conditions looking much easier to race in today. It's been super hot all week, and I think the storms yesterday have just got the whole air just a bit nicer to race in today.
Yeah, it's not quite as humid as yesterday, which is always quite nice, and there's no storms as of yet, so that's good.
So we've seen this morning, there's been about, well, it started at 9:30, it's Central European time, so now it's 12:33. At 9:30 there were the semi-finals of the women. So these are the fastest women. 20 came through from the heats, 10 came through from heat 2, and it's the 30 fastest. Then we're going to look here quickly at the standings, the World Cup standings after the first 3 events. As you can see, Jana Ducateri, who's made it into the final, is leading. Ricarda Funk, not here this week, is second, and Yasmin Schomburg, who's also in the final, is third so far. So it's going to be absolutely interesting. As I say, these are the 10 fastest women from the semi-final that took place about an hour ago in reverse order. So Miley Shura, not to be a great surprise to be honest to anyone, was the fastest, and Marta Karitonova from Russia, who's actually on a good spell, is coming first through today. Any thoughts about the lineups briefly?
Yeah, Marta, Miley and Marta, kind of as we'd expect, both there in the final. Spanish, very good on this course. Light paddlers, which does help here, and yeah, I think we're off now with the Russian Marta Karitonova.
So Joe, you were on the water, you were in the final yesterday, so you must know exactly what they're going through. Let us know your thoughts.
This top section's quite wiggly. You've got to push in really nicely into this breakout because it's a big swirl, and I was caught foul of it yesterday, so she's done that quite nice and getting away from there very well actually. We look to see a very competitive split on this first one that's coming up about now.
So we'll see 2 splits. Give us an indication of where the girls are.
Yeah, she looks solid so far. Nice and clean, just keeping it between the poles, and looks like she's starting to get a nice solid run down here. So this is one of the crunch moves here under the bridge. And that's very nice. In and out the breakout, very nice. I think the exit here is going to be a tricky one for the girls. You need to really pull quite hard on the paddle, and we can expect to see a bit of time change in hands there on the way out of that breakout, I think, in this final.
She's making light work of it so far. She's cruising on down through the gates really well, and clean so far, so that's good. The second split, 67. I think that's quite competitive, so that's good. And she's now approaching the last drop, so that's the make or break really. I think after that it's pretty much downhill to the finish, but she's got a few more gates to go, and we'll see the time shortly.
Well, it's looking competitive. In the semi-finals, we saw the fastest time was by Mylin at 99.7 seconds. There's actually 5.5 seconds between her and the 10th, which is Marta in your boat at the moment. So the fastest time she had was 1:05. It looks like she's going to be well ahead of that.
Oh, it looked like she'd made the finish line, and then she hadn't actually quite got there. 1:02.66. I think that would probably be a top 5. It's very good though.
It's a real solid start, and importantly it's clean, so yeah, let's see how that holds up.
Well, there's only 3 girls faster than her in the semi-finals, and crucially she's gone clear. 8 of the 10 paddlers in the semi-finals went clear, by the way, so it's a course that a lot of athletes are actually taking on.
Yeah, I think a few of the poles at this race seem a little bit higher than they have done at some of the previous World Cups. I think that means some of the athletes are taking slightly tighter lines under them, but obviously it's a bit easy to get under it as well, so we're not seeing quite as many penalties this weekend as maybe we have done.
It's Emily Fair, Olympic champion, former world champion, and seems to be in a good training partnership with Boris Nevu, under Sylviane Cunier. They train together and they're obviously doing something correctly right.
She's opted for the S at the top, and that looks quite good. Getting a little bit caught up on the exit though, but she's pushing on down through to gate 3. Nice turn there, and now approaching gate 4. Oh, she's got the swirl really nicely there, out and away. She's going down nicely.
Well, so far her season hasn't really gone to plan. She was 10th in Prague with a 50-second penalty. In Krakow she was 30 with 150-second penalties.
I saw a bit of movement on the pole there at gate 6. Wasn't sure if she'd just clipped it with the paddle or if it was the splash from the wave that moved the pole, but it looks like the judge has deemed it to have been a paddle. So far a 2-second penalty on time. It's a very good exit though, that from Emily Fair. She's out tight. She's got to get the boat back up to speed now though. So far it's looking okay. The touch could move her down a couple of places though.
Emily's the kind of paddler that can absorb a touch and still be in the medals, so we can definitely see her charging down to the finish. There's only 0.3. She's got another touch on gate 15 it appears, so she's just gone from being 0.13 to 2.13 down in the split, so let's see what she can do in this bottom section.
And I guess we really need to look out for her next week as well in Prague.
Yeah, home course, like you say, she's got a good training group with Boris there, so I think she'll be one to watch there, and definitely again in the World Championships where she obviously won gold in London.
Well, here we go, sprinting over the line. Well, initially just in second place, but only 2 athletes have gone down.
That's actually the fastest time we've seen so far. It's faster than all the semi-final times, but the penalties very, very costly here.
Yeah, it's always very tight racing at Sao, so you can't really afford to have 2 touches. As we saw with Emily, she's gone from being the fastest to in second place at the moment, but I'd suggest that's going to finish in the bottom lot.
And Emily was one of 3 paddlers who were given the option of taking their semi-final run again. She didn't actually take it, she was already in the final, but the reason for that was gate number 23, the last gate we've seen, was deemed, the water level had changed, so it was deemed to be unfair, so it meant Jana Dukatova, Joachim Gauthier could have their runs again, and Jana Dukatova benefited that, and she's actually made it into the final. Liv Churchill, who knows this course inside out, she won here in 2013.
Yeah, very nice style. I could see her doing quite well here. She's always super composed and looks really in control, and I think she moves the boat well, and that's going to be really key here at Sao. I think if you can just not get ahead of yourself and not rush and just push the boat where it needs to go to follow the fast water, then you can be fast. And so far it's looking fairly solid here.
She's looking nice and precise, pushing down through the flat section now. It's in touching distance of the split, so that's good, and she just looks really composed and calm, so I think we could see a good run piecing together here. She looks just really on the money at the moment.
Well, she was 29th last time, which was 5 weeks ago in Liptovsky, which is clearly a similar course to this, designed by the Andrei Schubek, who was the same course designer.
Oh, she's lost a little bit of time there. She's struggling on that exit. Oh, she's okay. No. She's pushing on down now, but it looks like the time's slipping away from her a little bit. But like you say, the bottom section's got quite a big technical move in, so that's nice. She's definitely gained some back there.
Very nice around the breakout. But again, it's a tricky exit. You've got to pull really hard, and I could see a bit of time changing hands here for the girls. The exit of 15 and also the up left just after the bridge.
Very nice on the sweep there.
First goal we've seen so far to sweep dip right on the bottom drop. And still clean. Let's see what she can do in the last breakout.
Well, actually, our commentator position is just in front of her now, so she needs about 9 strokes to come over the line, where she's going to be, well, provisionally takes first place by 1.41 seconds and puts the hand in the air, which I guess means she's happy.
Yeah, it looks that way. The pace is fast, fast enough for second after the semi-final times. But yeah, let's see how. Still a few boats yet to come, but it's a really good run that from Eva. I think we can see her definitely in the top half of the final at least.
She made up a lot of time by sweeping gate 19, and she was very good in gate 23. So you could see she was down on the second split, but then she went ahead. So it's good to see, and it's never over until you cross that finish line.
seconds to go. One of the superstars of the sport. It's 21-year-old Jessica Fox won the C1 yesterday. As we all know, she's the current under-23 world senior gold medal winner in C1 and K1.
Interesting, she's gone for the upright as opposed to the S, like you've seen with the two previous girls. She's done it well and she's getting away from there quite nicely, not caught up at all.
She won the race yesterday in a C1, but we've seen her take the double before at Deep Creek last year at the Senior World Championships, so let's see if she can take the double again today.
She's pushing hard, she's super talented, and definitely one to watch here. I think she could put down something really good in this run.
Well, she's 0.65 up, yes.
That's very nice through there, nice and dry. All a bit wet there, but she's setting up for the curl quite nicely.
Yeah, it's very good. It looks like she's got the exit as well. Oh, a little bit tight around that, but yeah, she's picked it back up again. Just getting the boat moving fast. I think where we can see the time, where the time's changing hands to be really fast is it's quite hard to see. It's that stagger there and this one here. I think it's very easy to just have the boat not moving very fast and taking slightly longer lines than you need to, but Jess looks very fast through this one, right on the poles, and she's kept the boat moving very well.
She looks so calm and composed, and she's up on the split. Just this bottom section now, a few more gates to see what time she's going to finish in. She's looking really nice, and just got to push on through to the finish line now.
And as a mark of respect, the locals are completely quiet, which won't be the case when we have Marta and Mylene coming down. Well, down the last post, just a few seconds to go. Oh, moves into second place.
Yeah, it looked like that the sweep stroke upstream for Eva on gate 19 might have been the difference, because Jess looked right on the money all the way.
Well, we're halfway through now. 4 competitors gone. Katerina Kudjova from the Czech Republic next up. Again, another huge talent. Again, someone who's missed the final this year. She missed the final in Liptovsky, just coming in 17th. Krakow is 8th, and Prague took the bronze medal.
Katerina's a really great paddler, very talented, but like you say, sometimes this season she's been a bit hit and miss, but when she does the run really well, then she's absolutely flying. Oh, she's not got off to the best of starts though, so she's got a lot of work ahead of herself to do.
Yeah, picked up that early touch. It's can be hard for the athletes to refocus and keep your head down and make sure you don't rush and get ahead of yourself. It's important to stick to the plan that you set with your coach beforehand. You might see occasionally, if someone picks up a touch, they might know that they've got a lot of work to do, and you might see them take some on. We saw even Joe in his semi-final ended up above gate 19, and he really took on the last upstream, and he managed to get into the final still. So let's see what she chooses to do. Will she keep to her plan, or will she try and push it on?
She's not panicking though, which is good. She's maintained a clean run so far, apart from the touch we saw early on. She's taken on gate 15, just got to cut out there tight. That's nice.
Just having to wait a little bit there at the stagger. Yeah, it's where the time changes hands, and it's not that obvious. It's very easy to do.
This is where we saw Eva take a lot of time out of the other girls on gate 19, so I suggest she's going to go in behind Eva just because that bottom section she had was so good.
Well, she's well off the pace, unfortunately. Time as reference is 1:01.25. Third place be 1:02.66. No, not today.
I'm not sure she's going to be too happy with that. But
well, now we're halfway down. So no one's really taken the course apart from you say that Eva had an extraordinary gate 19.
Yeah, she was very quick down the bottom. Emily was also very fast, the fastest run so far, but with the penalties, that's cost her. That's really cost her today. it might take a clean run to get on the podium in this real high-quality final.
Well, Jasmin Schomburg has missed the World Championship team for Germany, but she's still having a lot of fun out there. She won in Prague, as we know, and she was 5th in Liptovsky 5 weeks ago. And of course, she is the world champion on this course. Was it 2009?
I believe it was, yeah, 2009 here.
Jasmin's got off to a good start with the S on gate 1, pushing down now, keeping the bout really dry. Nice pivot in the eddy there. She's picking it up quite nicely across the flow.
Yeah, competition for places in the German team is competitive itself, so just because she's not on the world's team doesn't mean she can't really produce a performance today. We often see athletes coming from nations like Germany and France not representing on the World Championships team and still picking up medals at the World Cup circuit.
Well, we saw it yesterday with Denny Gargo-Canoe. He's not actually on the C1 team this year, and he ended up winning the race. And like we said before, Jasmin was in Prague, and she's not on the German team, and she won the World Cup there. It's just really cutthroat in Germany and France and some of the other nations.
Oh, set to duck for that, and it looks like she's taking a touch there on her back. And she keep it composed now to the finish, not lose her head.
That was very nice, knocked him for the tight exit there. Struggling to pull away a bit there, but she's pushing down through. Should see the split time, plus 2.82, so she's in touch and distance, but again, this is where I believe that Eva made all of the time, so to catch her now, she's going to have to do something very extraordinary. But that is very good.
Oh, it looked like she opted for the sweep as well, but it looks like she just got a little bit too wrapped up around the inside pole. Plus 4 seconds in penalties, that's probably going to push her right down the order now.
So would that be a case, would the coaches have examined what Eva did? He was one of the first off and said, why do you have a go at that? Or is that too late?
Nah, sometimes as the final progresses, if you're late off, she might have even watched the first couple of boats and then got on. Some athletes like to have their plan set really solid before they got on for their warm-up, but some don't mind changing it real last minute, like in the last 5 minutes. So yes, maybe a coach had run up and said, "Oh, it's on as a sweep. Like, why don't you take it on?" And it looks like she's tried to, and it's just not paid off for her today.
From the looks, it seems that the tail hit the bottom, and then as a result of that, the paddle just came back and hit the pole, which is unfortunate, really.
Well, next to go is Karina Kunle, twice world champion. Very fast, everyone says she's very, very strong.
Yeah, she's very strong, so we may see her getting away from a couple of these tricky breakouts a little bit better than some of the girls today. I think if she wants to win this race, that's probably where she's going to have to use her strength to her advantage to do that.
Well, she took silver here last year.
She was certainly pulling hard down this top section, that's for sure.
First of the tricky exits there. Can feel like you're paddling uphill. It looks like she's got a very good surge of water there, and she's got away very nicely.
It's a bit like paddling through treacle because it's just really, really hard water.
She's well up there.
Yeah.
Would you say the water's been consistent this week?
I'd say mostly. It's not massively a surgy course. There's in places the upstream gate 5, and then where it was in qualifying as well, those eddies are a little inconsistent, but other than that, then the river seems very stable, and I think most of the athletes are getting pretty much the same water everywhere.
Karina's looking good.
She's piecing together a really good run here, just needs to hold on to it to the finish. That is very nice, and cutting out tight, using that strength that she's got.
Yeah, she's definitely got out of that a bit tighter than the other girls so far.
Well, 3 seconds up so far.
Yeah, she's flying here. Pace is 101 as it stands, so she's on for a 98.
Yeah, we could see a sub 100 second run here, and she's nailed that as well.
Well, we're going to see her in London in the World Championships. It's very, very tight in Austria. Well, there's 4 or 5 girls up there, but she's looking to really put down a fantastic run. She's going to really take apart the field here.
She has absolutely smashed it.
Well, 3.92 seconds up.
97, absolutely smashed it.
I think she'd be very happy with that, and I'd dub that for a medal for sure, if not the gold.
You can just see from her reaction at the finish line, she knows it's fast, and yeah, she looks delighted with that.
But we've still got 2 Spanish paddlers to come, and Maya Lynch-Rue has led the qualification and the semi-final, so showing great form this season, so we could see her put the run down and challenge that for sure.
You mentioned 3 athletes to go. Are these the 3 that were on the podium in Liptovsky? Dukatova won.
Yes, it was.
I believe that's correct, yeah.
Yes, both Polish girls on the podium, the last outing in Liptovsky.
Marta Martinez, who they say has been good, but maybe this is a breakthrough year.
First upstream. Just love watching the Spanish paddlers. Real smoothness about them, but then the kind of dynamicness as well to really just snap and get away from stuff. Really, really exciting to watch.
She just makes the boat dance on top of the water. It looks really light. You can see she's 0.5 up on the split. Really charging down here and looking to challenge Karina Kunle.
We're in the World Ranking Tournament here a couple of months ago. She won that. She knows this water, doesn't she?
Yeah, she knows.
Nice there on there. She must have done that thousands and thousands of times. Good exit as well. She's gone a little bit further out than some of the girls, and it's meant she was able to point down and have a boat moving forwards already before she went through gate 12.
She's not opened up for 15 very much, and I think she's paying for. Oh, no, she's using her home knowledge there to her advantage. That's something maybe I should look to do myself.
She's dropped off the pace a little bit.
Oh, she's still within touching distance for sure.
Just
she's
slightly
pushing
off,
down
but
here.
definitely in touch. It's going to come down to the last two breakouts. Oh, a little tight, but can she get away? Got to get into the fast water now and got to get the boat pointing downstream.
This is where Karina Kunle really used her strength and every bit of it to push onto the finish line. She had a really good up left here and then just powered it to the finish.
Well, it's certainly going to be close. As you can see, the time of reference is 97.33. No.
Right. 99, but a very good time still. The run from Karina was just exceptionally fast, but I think 99's good, and she could find herself on the podium. Two boats left to go. I think that's pretty competitive.
I think Marta will be sitting at the finish line, just waiting nervously to see if she'll be on the podium, but I'm going to dib that for definitely a medal. As to what colour, we'll have to see.
Well, Karina Kunle has a medal, which is good for her. Jana Dukatova, as I mentioned 5 minutes ago, she's been down this course twice in the semi-finals. This is important because the Slovakian team are taking part on their Olympic trials. It's the best of 5. It's going to be here. It's going to be Po next weekend. It's going to be the London World Games and London Championships rather, and it's going to be 2 internal trials. So the fact that she's actually made it now to the final, she already has. It's quite a complicated point system, but she has 3 points at least. And Elena Kaliska, who traditionally has taken the Slovakia spot for the games, remember won them twice, is in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, it could be a little potentially controversial back home in Slovakia, this one. Jana originally not in the final after a semi-final run, and then given a rerun because of change in water level for the last up left. Whether that made a difference to her run, we don't know, but she refocused well for the rerun, and she's got herself in the final in second place. So yeah, we could see her really put selection, really get off to a good start in her selection series for the Olympic trials.
She's pushing hard, but she just seems to be getting pushed around by the water quite a lot here, just not quite flowing the boat as well as we've seen the other girls do, like Karina and Marta. So I'd suggest she's going slightly down at the split, and we're definitely seeing that right now.
Got out tight out of that upstream though, technically very nice.
It's 3.77 down. We saw in Liptovsky that she made it through to the final in 10th place, and I know Robert, her coach, was sitting next to me and he was sweating an awful lot for the whole thing, and then she actually won the final.
I think sometimes qualifying through in 10th place is sometimes the best place to be, really, so you can put a run down, a really fast run down, and then let everybody else try and challenge you. Like, it's sitting on that start line knowing that you've got to beat a time is definitely a thing that can get to you if you're not prepared for it.
Well, it's not her day today, where in a sense she's beaten Elena Kaliska, so it's a good start.
Yeah, it's a good start to her trials. I think she'd have hoped for a better finish than in 6th place. Just looked like she needs to push a little bit harder in some places, I think. Looked a little bit too casual for me.
She always has to manage her back, though. We see her frequently in the gym, so I guess that might be an issue. We'll have to see. Well, we know that there's a Spanish medalist, which is good for the home crowd. Marta Martinez is currently sitting in 2nd place. Karina Kunle, with an electrifying clear run, is 1st place. The top 6 girls all went clear. It's Mylin Churo, who a lot of people are amazed at how quickly she can put runs down.
Oh, she was absolutely fantastic in the qualifications, faster than some of the men that we dubbed for good times. So that was fun. That was great to see. And
but she's not big, is she? She just must have an amazing power to weight ratio.
I think she's just really slight, and like you say, she's got a really good power to weight ratio. And when she paddles the boat on here, it just looks so light. You can see it just dancing on top of the water, just really accelerating away from all the turns. It's great to see.
We saw yesterday in the C1 women, we saw Nieuwe Villa-Hubler, who was the hot favourite, didn't quite make it her day. See if Mylin could do so. Samuel Hernandez also missed out for the men.
Yeah, Mylin's been flying all year, and she's a second up on the first split. That's a massive gap for just the first 7 or 8 gates. It looked like she had a bit more in the tank after her first run, so this very fast time set by Karina is definitely going to be challenged here, but she's lost a bit of time in the up left.
Yeah, I expected her to do that a little bit better being the home course, but she's not made it a big thing and just kind of got on with it, so that's good. And she's definitely taken the moves on here, whips the boat round there in 15. Slightly caught on the exit there, but we'll see the split time and hopefully she'll be 1.4 to the better. So she's pushing on down here, and I think we can see a new leader if she carries on in this way.
She's just moving. Oh, and she's gone in too tight into the last up right.
I think maybe she watched me yesterday, but that's not necessarily a good thing to do.
Needs to push on now to the finish. She had time in the run, but I think the lead time might just be out of reach now.
Well, she'll be kicking herself for a while after that mistake. Time to go for, as you can see, for the bronze medal is 101.25.
Can still find herself on the podium. Yeah, second place.
Well, that's all down to what would happen. What would have happened there, Jay? You said you're familiar with that sort of situation. Will it have mind? Will it be saying this is mine, or what will have happened?
Well, I don't know really. It's hard to say whether she got ahead of herself and thought she's on a really good run, but
here we can see it.
From the looks of it, she just jumped in slightly too early there and having to back paddle rather than opt for the S, which I did yesterday. But she's dealt with it well, and to be able to come away with the silver medal with that is fantastic.
That would cost her what, 2 seconds?
Oh yeah, she was 1.4 to the better and ended up being 1.4 down, so around 2 seconds, yeah. But it's quick thinking to back paddle and just get on with it. And like I say, she's come away with the silver medal because of it.
Excellent refocus there. Really, really good. Two Spanish paddlers on the podium, so it's something for the home crowd to shout about.
Well, they're a bit quiet, to be fair, at the moment, because that was their banker event, I suspect. But Karina Kunle, as I mentioned before, she's twice world champion. If she's fit and she's mentally in the right zone, then it's very difficult to beat her. Here we go, confirmation of the results. Karina Kunle takes the gold for Austria, Mylin Schur takes the silver for Spain, and Marta Martinez takes the silver also for Spain. And Jana Dukateva made the final, which is good for her in the Slovakia trials.
It will also be good for the World Cup standings for Jana. As we saw before, she was leading, so that will just increase the lead slightly more, which is good.
So, what are your thoughts about the strength and depth of the women's K1? It's looking good, isn't it? Because we still have a couple, Ricardo Funk and a couple of others who are not here. It's going to be all open for London.
Yeah, there's a lot of top athletes at the moment. There's a few kind of standouts. Say Mylin. For me, I think she's got to be a hot favourite at every race she enters at the moment. But Emily Fair, Olympic champion, former world champion, she's always going to be up there. Jana Dukatova, I don't know, we could see some of these girls trying to peak for next year in Rio. And
what about a couple of girls we haven't mentioned, Liz Neve and Fiona Penny, who Fiona's sitting out this weekend?
Yeah, Fiona's my training partner, and when she's on it, she's on it. Like we saw at the World Champs last year, she just got pipped by Jess, but her run was absolutely fantastic and she came away with the silver medal. She's been putting a lot of hard work in the background, so I know she's very keen to sit on the podium, well, stand on the podium again, and I think she'll be looking to do that next weekend in Po, where she'll be racing, and then again, hopefully for the World Championships, and get some bonus points ready for the British Olympic selections.
And Lizzie?
Yeah, it's going to be super tight with Lizzie, I think, for our trials. Great to see Lizzie back racing again. She's struggled a bit of injury last couple of years, but yeah, she's struggling a bit with her current world ranking from not racing. She's starting very early off in the heats, but she's doing well. She progressed through to the semi-final and had a solid performance today, and yeah, she's only going to push on.
Yeah, she had a 4th at the Europeans earlier in the year, but we've also got the likes of Beth Leighton and Kimberly Woods and Mallory Franklin, which could add a spanner into the works when it comes to the Olympic selections. It's definitely not a 2-horse race.
Kimberly's here this weekend, obviously competing well in the C1s. We're just about to have the World Cup standing, so you can see where they are. Next week in Po is the 5th and last World Cup, ICF World Cup of the season. There's double points there for the finalists and semi-finalists. That's going to be interesting to see who can make up the points. It's difficult this year because it's an Olympic qualification year. There are some athletes that are deciding to, or their coaching staff are deciding them to sit out the actual event, so it's not a case of everyone's going through the whole 5. But still, you have to be in it to win it, most people say.
Yeah, for sure. The dual points definitely mixes things up. You can kind of think you're out of it, and then all of a sudden you get a good result on the podium, and then you've got double first or second or third, and straight away you shoot up the rankings. And I think we could see a few people do that next weekend.
Such a good venue for it as well in Po. It's going to be a really exciting race. And of course, they've got the World Championships in 2017.
Well, here we go. The World Cup standings has come through. Jana Dukatova consolidated her lead, and now it's very close. In second place, equal Yasmin Schornberg, Mylin Shuro, 10 points back. So it's going to be a wonderful competition next weekend. Now we're going to move to the second event that we have to you live from La Sodegal in Spain, and it is the C2. We'll follow the screen. These are the finalists with Kucheri and Bacik who've made it through. That's enormous for them because they're ahead of Hochschorners and Skantars in the trials for the Slovakia team. Florence and Hounslow, they like to be where they are. They were the fastest in qualifications, and a couple of teams, a couple of people haven't made it. As we hear, here's the World Cup standing so far. Klaus Pesch, as we've seen, and Karlovsky Jane, who are both in the final today. Berlin Becker didn't actually take the trip, but Kasper Sindler are also in there. The Czechs having the same team this week and next week, so it's going to be very close throughout. Adam, a quick word about yourself, because you should be on the water.
No, we shouldn't be on the water now. We didn't race well enough, unfortunately, in heats to earn ourselves in the place in the semi-final. And yeah, you've got to be in that semi-final to be able to get yourself in the mix.
Well, Kuchera and Bacik, they traditionally haven't been the top Slovakia team. Obviously, the Hochschorners have dominated the Olympics, and the Skantars the last couple of years have been on top of the worlds, but they've come ahead. They have at least 3 points in their Slovakia internal trials. They've been around for many years, and they're a top crew.
Yeah. This is a really good opportunity for these boys. No Hochschorners and no Skantars in the final, so the countrymen aren't here, and it's an opportunity now to really go for it and try and just get off to flying start in their Olympic trials.
Yeah, it'd be good for them to get one in the bag early on and just put it down to the other guys. So they're chasing. These boys can be really fast on their day, and Slovakia's C2 scene is just fantastic. Like you said, the Hochschorners and the Skantars last year were unbeatable for a period, and this season they seem to be struggling a little bit with penalties, but it's not to say you rule them out at all. And the Hochschorners won again for the first time in a long time in Liptovsky, so there's a lot of prestige in the C2 in Slovakia.
It looks like they're putting forward a solid run.
Yeah, it looks solid so far. They lost a little bit of time after the drop on the bridge, just the tail swinging out and in quite sideways across the river, but they're keeping it clean, and generally they've been pretty good around their breakouts, so let's see how they can do these last two.
But it's known to be shallow and narrow. I guess that puts specific challenges for the C2s.
Well, you see that especially through 16, 17. All the boats are hitting the back on the wall, so that kind of straightens the boat up. So they've got to counteract that, pulling really hard on the opposite side. But these guys are doing a good job so far. Clean run.
Let's see how this compares to the pace from the semi-final.
Well, 1:05.44.
Looks fairly solid, but of course David and Richard put it down to 1:02 on their semi-final run. So
Klaus Pesch did 1:01.55, but they had a 2-second penalty.
So 1:01 is the fastest pace so far. So maybe a little bit of time in that.
It's a rough guide. The C2s normally a similar time to the women, so I think we could potentially see if we have a really good C2 run, we could see maybe under 100 seconds, but that's only a rough guide, and obviously, like we said, it's a very shallow course and quite narrow, so that makes it even trickier to navigate for the C2s.
Well, we do have now local knowledge at its best. We have Daniel Mano, Joseph Perez, and they were born in a little village just a few kilometres away from here, and they know this course extraordinarily well.
Yeah, they've medalled at this World Cup before. They know this river inside out.
They're looking nice and casual here so far, not pushing it too hard, but feeling the water, using the water to its best, and that got a swirl pushing hard down.
Backman there pulling hard in the back, really strong on the way out of that breakout. See this first split, they're pretty much the same as Kachero, so not much in it so far.
Yeah, they've got Jesus in the back, who's a bit of a powerhouse, and then Danny in the front, controlling it down onto the curl nicely.
It's a tough move that for C2s. There's a lot of weight landing on the curl, and it's very easy to get flushed out over the top and below into the upstream 11, but they've done that thousands of times, and they've done it very well.
Oh, it seems they've picked up a touch on gate 9, but I didn't actually see that myself. That was very nice. You'll probably see the tail touch. Oh no, it's okay, they've avoided the tail touch, probably using their local knowledge there to navigate and avoid that.
And
they're pushing hard here.
the actual penalties.
I think they've kept the boat running nicely through that stagger. A little bit deep into the upright, but it looks like it's giving them a tighter exit. They've got the boat pointing very downstream on the way out. No sliding down sideways, and we could see them maybe absorb this touch.
Well, the last of the 23 gates to be negotiated. 6 upstreams today. And here we go.
Spanish crowd cheering them to the finish.
Not today, just outside.
They don't look happy with it. Don't look happy with that touch.
We have 2 Czech teams and 3 French teams to go, so I think these 2 first initial times won't stay there for too long.
Next crew up, young crew, having a great season so far. We've seen them in a few finals and ripping it up in the heats and semis as well. Definitely going to be challenging Stepanci Poshwala, their countrymen, for the Olympic spot, I think, next year.
That's going to be good. Virchok and Majacek, they are, like yourself, the under-23 world champions. Clearly USC one.
Yes, they are. Out in Brazil, it was a very good race out there. There's some good C2 crews, and I think, as we all expected, the local boys to take it on there, and I think they were leading through the other stages, and these boys pulled it out in the final, and they look like they're going fast again today.
Yeah, these guys always put a lot of effort in and do kind of the Polish way and pull really hard. We've got the short guy in the front, and then they tall on the back. I think that's really good to actually see the gates, and they work together really well as a crew, and you can see that now.
Like you said, Adam, the confidence must be running high. They reached the first World Cup final in Liptovsky.
Oh, slightly too much upstream edge there, and they kind of got rejected a bit, but they're pushing hard. I think this is really tricky here. There's the back right.
Yeah, it's a tough exit there to have the backman swing out. I think sometimes going a little bit further out of that upstream could actually benefit a bit, but it's hard to get there, and they were tight, and then the tail swung out, and you just end up sitting a bit sideways across the river, and it's not where you want to be pointing. You want to be pointing at the finish line as much as possible.
But they're well up on the split.
They would have been up on the split, but they just, as soon as they might have picked up a penalty on gate 17, yeah, on the right-hand pole, Blackman's paddle. Yeah, it's a silly one, really. I'm sure he'd be kicking himself at the finish for that.
Yeah, it's a cheap touch to take. Easily done in the final when the pressure's on and you really want to go for it. And these boys definitely leave it all out there. And let's see what the time is.
They're charging to the finish line now. I think there could be a new lead. Oh, no.
It's a long last sprint, isn't it, where they actually finally come off. Adam, obviously the C2 situation is incredibly competitive in the UK. We saw Stott and Proctor just missing out on the final. How are they?
Yeah, I think they're happy that it was a fairly solid run, but yeah, they picked up a touch on the last breakup. They've just came in very, very tight to it, and I thought they managed to stay off it, but the judge must have deemed them to have the penalty. But they're still well in the running. This doesn't have an influence on our Olympic selection. It's down to the World Championships, and then 3 races we have in London. Say Dave and Rich are probably front runners, but it's selection, and it's always going to be there for the taking. It's going to be a competitive series.
Good. We want the way they want it. Karlovsky and Jane from the Czech Republic, one of 3 or 4 really, really strong teams from the Czech Republic.
So many good crews from the Czech Republic. Great history in C2. Similar to the Polish boys we've just seen, they really go for it, these boys. They leave it all out there.
Well, 3 events so far this season. They've done 3 World Cups, and they've reached 3 finals, coming 2nd, 9th and 4th.
It's good consistency to make 3 finals, I think. The way these boys race, I think it can be hard to find that consistency attacking so hard, but they're doing it really well. Somehow they managed to hang on and piece these runs together.
Yeah, like Adam said, these guys leave nothing out there. They've picked that curl really, really nicely there, and going to get a good exit here as well. Attacking it hard and pushing hard to the finish. Really, you can see that there, the effort they put in. You can. It's really good.
That's the best exit we've seen so far, especially as a back right. No swing from the back man. Really got hold of the tail dead really early, and good there again. And I think we could see potentially a new leader here. Let's see what the split is. 1 second up.
Well, they've made up 2.5 seconds in the last section.
This upstream potentially favours the back right, so yeah, whips it round on the tail. Very, very flash, very nice.
Well, 3 gates to go. It looks like we have potential new leader.
And that was very nice, round 23. These guys are going to be putting a charge through to the finish, I think. Going to put it out there, 103. Ooh, 102.98.
About 2.5 seconds ahead, and they're happy with that.
Very good run. Seen from the times from the semi-final, it was just outside of the semi-final pace set by David and Richard. So an excellent run here, and I think we're going to see that on the podium.
Good. Well, we have 4 of the 10 competitors gone. We still have 3 French teams to go, and the first team up was the silver medalists from the World Championships in Deep Creek last year, who are Pierre Picot and Hugo Bizot, the little one and the big one.
Yeah, they took a medal here last year. I believe they won the semi-final, and then I think they took the bronze medal in the end. So obviously they know how to race well on this course.
Yeah, these guys are starting to go into their own recently, and seeing them in more and more finals and on the podium as well, which is great. Like you say, in the World Championships and here last year.
French selection's another one that's going to be absolutely wide open. The 3 crews that we see racing in the final today, they're probably the ones that you'd expect, but even there's 2 of the younger crews there just right on their tail, and I think it's going to be really exciting to see who makes the Olympics, like it will in all classes for the French team.
Well, they're up at the split, first split.
Really good start here. I think the top half potentially favours the left back, and the bottom half potentially favours the right back, so I think they're going to need to be just to hold that advantage for this next split.
Well, they seem to have picked up a touch on gate 9, which is going to prove very costly if they want to challenge Karlovsky Jane.
Yeah, another crew picking up a touch on gate 9. Looks like it's the tricky down just above the bridge. I think I've seen a couple of real slight touches on that this weekend. The judge there has definitely got good eyesight to pick them up.
Yeah, they've fallen off a bit, haven't they?
Yeah, as we thought, that touch has proven very costly.
The touch has cost them, and I think just looping a little bit too much on the offsets, letting the tail out wide, and just not running the boat downstream.
Not quite as neat around there as Karlovsky Jane were, but like we say, that was a back right, and it probably favours the back right.
They're on their onside now for the last up left in the sprint to the finish, though, so very nice last up left.
Yeah,
so
that was very nice.
See if they can turn
Well,
over
they've
some
only been
of that
touched for a
deficit.
medal so far. Well, moving to the provisional 3rd place. Adam, just a quick word about the second chap in most of the boats. He's wearing I Love C2. What's all that about?
Yeah, so the I Love C2 campaign, it's because the C2 class, it looks like it's not going to be an Olympic event after the Rio Games. Rio Games looks like it's going to be the last one for C2s, and the French are kind of leading the way with this this I Love C2 campaign, in an attempt, I guess, to try and save C2 and keep it in the Olympic program. It all comes down to gender equality from the ICF. C1 women currently not an Olympic event, and it looks like they will be the C1 women replacing the C2.
It's Luka Bozic, Sasso Taliad, and we had a bit of a scare yesterday with Luka Bozic because he turned his boat and looked like he had a sore shoulder, but I spoke to him just afterward and he said it was okay. They haven't managed to reach a final over the season, but they are the present world champions.
Yeah, they're the current world champions in C2. Luka obviously in the final yesterday in C1, so he's had some good practice on this course. He knows it well. These boys are always fast when they put one down, so I think if they can hold it together, then they're going to be very competitive. And it looks smooth so far.
These guys have a very distinctive style. The front guy leans back quite a lot, and I know a lot of people that really enjoy watching these guys paddle, just because it's slightly different to the conventional way of paddling the C2, but they do it very well. And
well, they were 1.5 seconds up, but they're taking a 2-second penalty, so they're probably about even at the moment.
Yeah, they've looked smooth and they look fast, so the touch is probably just, there, as we can see, just pointing sideways across the river. Didn't quite get hold of the tail quite as well as Liptovsky there, so maybe a touch more time. I think they're probably just behind now. Let's see what it says on the second split.
Yeah, it looks like they're losing a little bit there on the exit as well, getting held. Trying to avoid the tail. Oh, they've hit the tail there. But still in contact, 1.21 with the touch.
Not too much competition for places for these boys in Slovenia in the C2 class for the Olympic Games. I think maybe the reason why we've not seen them in some finals this year is because Luka may be potentially focusing on his C1 a little more, and we've seen him in lots of finals. I think he's aiming to make history in Rio, competing in both classes, and he's definitely there to try and medal in both.
Yeah, there you go. They're certainly forcing as much, but going to be very close. Well, moving to second place.
Yeah, the touch costly. They were very fast. 101.22, really fast run, and that touch has cost them a lot. I think the first split is where they're really good. Took a little bit more height out of the first and left, and able to get the boat moving right through that next offset, and they carried that speed all the way to the bridge.
That was the fastest roll time we've seen from the C2 so far, so they'll be gutted they had that touch, because I think that could have really held on to the win.
See the athletes in the finish area there, the crew's already been just having a watch of those boys coming over the line. Sigh of relief there, I think, from Liptovsky.
Well, here we go. It's Pierre Laborel and Nicolas Péchier, who they weren't one of the top French teams this season. Sorry, is it all them?
Yeah, I think it's the Czech crew.
I should be watching the screen, perhaps. Sorry.
Alexander and Jonas Kaspar. Yeah, they're going to be challenging their training partners here, I think. Very good crew as well. Paddle a little bit different, I think, to their countrymen, but yeah, they're just as quick, and we often see them kind of chopping and changing who's in the lead. So it's going to be an exciting selection series for these guys as well. An exciting race today. They're up on the split.
Yeah, these guys have been having a really good season so far. They won the World Cup for the first World Cup win in Krakow, so I know they're very happy with that, and they're taking a lot of momentum into the race in this season, putting a really big charge in, because like Adam said earlier about the C2 potentially not being in Rio, potentially not being in Tokyo in 2020. They're putting the last final charge in to try and make sure they're the Olympic boat in 2016.
I think we've just seen the level in C2 just shoot up in the last couple of years. Maybe from that news, I guess it's every athlete's dream to go to the Olympic Games, and now all of a sudden there's a time limit on that dream for these C2 athletes. So everyone is absolutely gunning for it, and everyone wants to be in the Olympic spot for their nation. There's so much competition for places. Yeah, it's just going to be really exciting, I think.
Well, they're certainly in touch at the moment with 2 gates to go.
Yeah, these guys are absolutely charging down. I think they want to repeat Krakow and stand on the top of the podium and hear the Czech national anthem.
Kept it clean as well, so let's see what this comes in at.
It's going to be very close.
Oh, just in behind.
Well, it shows us the top 3 within half a second.
Yeah, 0.33 separating first and third. That's very tight racing.
Really tight racing.
Really backs up what Adam said about the standard of C2, just really rocketing because of the timeline.
I think it's that, and I think it's also the fact that C2's the last class off in the racing program as it stands, and maybe a little bit more time to watch some of the other classes and see where the mistakes are being made. And there's probably also less options in the C2. It's normally a bit more black and white, the way to do things. So we generally see in finals just everyone is right up there, and you've got to take every fraction of a second you can, because it can influence medals massively.
Right, I'm watching the screen now. I'm actually watching the course as well. It is Pierre Labrel, Nicolas Peschier, who, as I mentioned, they didn't actually make the world top team in the trials, in the French trials, but Nicolas Peschier in the back there, he's actually doing his best in C1 this year.
Yeah, a bit of surprise, I think. Those boys not making their world's team for France, but it looks like they're still training, they're still going for it, and they're going to be competitive still, I think. And today they've won here before. I think they won the Europeans back in 2011. So they know how to be fast here. Pierre in the front, very light, so and Nico just powering him down.
Yeah, Nico is such a powerhouse in the back. You can just see the size of his bicep as he's pulling Labrel along in the front.
I think it was in 2012, 2013, they were very dominant. They won 3 races in a row, so they certainly know how to be on top.
Yeah.
I think they won the overall World Cup Series that year as well.
Yeah. That's correct. That was very nice, slightly tight, but they corrected it nicely. And pulling out there, that's a great exit there.
Nico getting all the way to the wall for the punt and firing them out across. I said earlier, that wide exit can help the back right crews to be able to point down and get hold of the tail quickly, and they spent more time pointing down the river than some of the other crews. It's very tight around that upstream as well, so we might see a challenge on the lead here.
Oh, they are really taking it to pieces, this course here. 1.7 up on the split.
Flying, and they're on their onside here for this really tricky upstream and next stagger sequence.
Well, second here in 2013, second here in 2014. Can they go one better?
This is looking good for them so far. They've got a few more gates to go. Just watching them coming down now.
I think we'll see them go for the punt again here to just power that exit. Yeah, there it is.
This is going to be a very fast run. I think we could break 100 seconds potentially.
Well, they're going to be the first people powering over the line.
Oh.
Yeah, nearly 2 seconds ahead.
Yeah, they're going to be very happy with that. That's the fastest time we've seen in the C2 all day, so they've really laid it down. And there is 2 crews to go.
But they're quite dynamic crews to go.
Yes, definitely. Another French crew coming up, and they're always right up there. They've won the World Cup Series before as well, and I think they're going to be keen to assert their dominance here against their fellow countrymen.
Yeah, it's world number 1, Klaus Pesch next, and I'm sure they want to be standing on the top of the podium with their countrymen to the side of them, and not the other way around, so they're going to be pushing really hard here. Got a really good style, and we've seen them win plenty of races before. So
they won in Prague, they were second in Liptovsky, didn't make the final in Krakow, which is very rare. Let's see how they go.
They've heard the commentaries, so they'll know what they need to do. They'll know the pace has gone faster than it went in the semi-final, and significantly so. All crews looking like they've improved on their semi-final performances. So see if these boys can as well, because they could find themselves on the top.
Ooh, slightly late on the turn there, but they've pulled it in quite nicely on 4 and using the swirl, punting out, opting for the punt. They got slightly caught in the exit there as well, so we could see this in the split time, but they're pushing hard, so might manage to absorb it.
Well, they've been touched, half a second off.
Only half a second off. I think they've done well there, because it looked like they lost quite a lot on that exit from the up left. Maybe just squeezing out a little too tight. I don't know if that's from rushing, or if they just maybe just try and, I thought they saw the exit a bit early with the water. Good exit there, gone a little bit further, and you can see they've got hold of the tail a bit quicker there. Matthew in the back.
Yeah, this is the tricky part here. You've got to turn the back on themselves, and a lot of swing in the C2. But they've absolutely nailed that, and it's on their onside, this bottom section. So if they can be in contact in that split, I can really see 0.02.
There's nothing in it. 200ths in it here. It's going to be an exciting finish. There's a little bit of time on this last upright, I think, for Labrel Peschier, and I think Klaus Pesch have done that faster.
Oh, that was great, yeah, they cut out really tight there, and they're just pushing on to the finish now.
Oh, they're taking that a little tight. Missed a stroke, but the line was shorter, so let's see what impact that has on the clock.
101.07 to go for. Can they break the 100 seconds? Yeah. Going to first place, that means a lot.
That's amazing, it's so fast. Really good, and so tight still. 0.3 in it.
really dominant there and showing why they are world number one.
David and Richard up next, Great Britain crew. They've been here before, winning the semi-final and sat on the start line. I was chatting to Richard before and he was saying they've been there before and just heard the commentary and heard every single boat going faster, and they're experienced lads, so they know how to deal with it, and they're not going to let it get to them.
So David didn't have too much birthday cake last night.
Richard said the birthday cake was very good, and he also said that it's about time they turn the semi-final win into a final win, so hopefully them boys can do it today.
We'll see.
David in the front just never stops, just keeps on going. He's so strong, so physical, and yeah, just super talented. Obviously, really good in C1 as well. So Richard in the back, kind of steering away and just kind of keeping control of everything. He's composed in his kayak, and I think he brings that composure over into the C2, and I think that's why they work so well together.
Yeah, you've got Richard guiding it down, but he's just as a
Well, they're up so far.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job of guiding the boat down. Everybody says, oh, he's cruising and things like that, but you don't realise how perfect his strokes are half the time, and he's setting up really nicely for this curl here. They've done that a lot better than they did in the semi-final, and they seem to be on a really good run here.
That's good there. David there helping out on the crossbar for the exit as well, and
that was great.
On his onside there for Richard, so he's got hold of the tail straight away, powering through this offset.
Was it last year or the year before where they looked like they're going to be victory, then they hit the bottom?
I think it was not last year, the year before, but don't quote me on that one.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Well, it's 0.68 up at the moment, so they're doing something correctly.
Yeah, they've got a bit of a margin here on Kaspesh, so let's see how they can do this. Let's break out on their offside, so they've got to work hard. Another crew going in too tight, but
that could prove costly because it's only 0.6 up on the split, but they're charging down here.
Managed to squeeze just inside it, so see if they can really take it on here, the last upstream.
Well, there's not much margin in between first and second.
Oh, come on, boys.
So there's 2 seconds from first to third. And
well, they're certainly going to go for it.
Come on, boys, to the finish.
Oh, just outside.
Oh.
Third place.
What a fantastic run that was. And that would have won the semi-final as well. So.
And they're on the podium, which is good to see.
Yeah, they seem very happy with that. It was a very good run, and I'm sure they'll be happy with it.
You can't not be happy with that when you put a run like that down, put it all out there, and they've gone faster than they did. They learned from their mistakes in the semis, and they put a fast run down. It's just unfortunate for them that the two French crews have done the same thing, really laid it down, and theirs just happened to be slightly faster.
That's great from you, Adam, because let's cut out all the rubbish. They are your direct competition.
Yeah, they are. I got a lot of respect for these boys. So I see them training in Lee Valley, and they're putting runs down every single day that could win the World Championships. Under no illusions that they're the main competition for our Olympics.
Just to confirm the results here: Klaus Pesch take the gold, Laborel Peschier take the silver, Florence Hounslow take the bronze medals. It's going to be daunting for next weekend when we go to Po, which is their home course. So it's great day's racing. I hope you've enjoyed it. You can clearly follow us on all the social media, on the Facebook, on the official ICF sites. Joe, a bit about yourself. What are your ambitions over the next few weeks?
I'm currently sitting 4th in the World Cup standings, so I'd like to get some really good points next week in the double points in Po, and then hopefully stand on the podium. Then obviously moving on to the World Championships in London, my home course, so it's literally my back garden.
Many people are tipping you as the chap to look out for. Does that scare you, or you just salt off the back?
You can let it be what it wants to be, really. I think you can think about it a lot, or you can just get on with it. I mean, I'm just going to go out there and race my own race, and hopefully that'll piece together the way I want it to, and hope then they can say, yeah, well, that's the guy I did to win, but we'll see. I'm just really looking forward to it.
It'll be interesting because as we were speaking to Adam, he's competing against the two of them and Florence in C1, C2, and you're directly against Richard and Bradley, I guess, in the K1.
Yeah, those guys are really good, just pushing the standard up, and we've got a few other outsiders that haven't made the team this year. Tom Brady, who was in the team last year, and then a few other guys that are just pushing up through the ranks that could prove some good results in the future for sure.
And in 10 seconds, when do you move out of here? What do you do in Po?
We're going.
We're going straight to Po tonight. Get over there and get on the water tomorrow.
I think we're going to have a nice paella at about 3 o'clock here before we head out, and then over the Pyrenees and Po, and then start training ready for the World Cup next weekend.
Which should be a lot of fun. Let's hope we do have the World Cup standings coming up in a second. Just with the power of Mikulas. He's going to be a photographer when he hangs up his boots, isn't he? He's got a contact with the ATF. Anyway, here we go. This is the World Cup standings, and it's Klaus Pesch have consolidated their lead just ahead of Kalowski, Janne, and Berling, Becker. So, boys, you've been perhaps finalists for Joe. I just missed out. Was this a good weekend, a learning weekend, or?
Yeah, I guess I felt a little underpowered at a few of the World Cups so far this year, and I'm going to make a couple of changes before Po, and it'd be nice to have a result at a World Cup before World Championships, but that is the focus, and I'm going to be super fresh for that one, and just really excited to see what can happen there on Lee Valley.
And Joe, the mood, is it all for in the UK camp, Great Britain camp? Is it all geared for London?
Yeah, we're just really pushing towards the home World Championships, just getting the basics done well every day, and I think everybody's really buzzing about it. We've got really good funding for the event, and it's just going to be fantastic. So everybody should get down there. You can buy your tickets online, and
it's canoelondon2015.com.
Well, that's Adam Burgess, Joe Clarke. I'm Matthew Leighton. Thanks so much for tuning in today. You can catch us up on YouTube. You can catch us on the social media. Next major event's going to be coming from Po, which is the home of French canoe slalom, and that's going to be next weekend. Enjoy. Thank you very much. Goodbye.